My name is Elif Tailly. I'm a French journalist based in Marseille, and I work for the French and German press, well, print press, print and online press. I started to work as a journalist in Germany, in Berlin, like 6 years ago. And when I moved back to France, I continued to work also for German media. And now I also started to work for French media.
Hello, my name is Samira Kaja, and I'm a blogger at the Marseille Bondi blog. I started to have an interest in this association, the association LACT, because they had something like a training during 1 year, a totally free training to study the basics of journalism. I found about this association when I was a bit lost in my life. I didn't know what to do for my studies, for example, and I saw this in the newspaper, and suddenly my vocation to become a journalist started to burn again. So during 1 year I studied the basics, and after this I had the chance to go with another association to Greece to make a documentary about the youth riots, and to also have a practice in a newspaper in Paris.
Regarding the relation between discrimination and the media, I think there are 2 points. Well, I see 2 points. I think the first one is has to do with the question, do the media deal with the topic of discrimination? Meaning, do they cover issues related to discrimination like racism, gender parity, and anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and so on. So regarding this question, I will say that it's very linked to the actuality. When I think about homophobia is also a specific case. If there is a homophobic attack towards someone, like someone is beaten up, or then the media will cover the issue of homophobia. But outside of this context, outside of such incidents, such news, it's not, I don't think that discrimination and discrimination-related issues are an ongoing subject in France for the media. But there are many journalists who reproduce stereotypes in a more unconscious way, like they don't realize the pictures they use, or they don't realize necessarily the vocabulary they use. So there is a lack of awareness for many journalists of how to deal with, how to speak about minorities, how to write about minorities.
I think the real chance that this kind of initiative gives is to have another point of view. If you give the chance to some people from North District, for example, to write themselves about the news of their district and their point of view about French policy or something, you have suddenly something else. It's like you share the potential of breaking the news, and with this association they gave you the skills to do that. So suddenly we don't have just one truth but many point of views, and the most professional possible at this age and with this level of qualification. So when you have plenty of point of views, you have a better knowledge of what's happening. Some years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, this initiative started in Paris, in a place called Bondi. What we saw in the media is like they are treating this fact like criminals are doing bad things, like burning cars and everything. But you have a whole knowledge behind this, like the social reasons that led to this kind of situation. It's not just what you see is the reality, there is something behind. So you are media and you are something like disconnected from reality. And you have some young people, they decide to put themselves together to create something like an organization, an association, and to give their point of view. They are helped, they have the support of some professional journalists, and for the first time they can say what's really happening, and why they are doing some things like this. And they are interviewed by other people from the same district, so they are closer, and you get more truth, you get more levels, more layers in the truth. So this initiative can help people to have a better understanding of situations like this. And the kind of initiative like this will give people the matter to discuss the real problems and to bring a real change, not just on stereotypes like young people in the North District or in the suburbs are just criminals and everything. There is a social reason for that. And if you really focus on those reasons, the roots of the criminality or those riots, you can really bring a change.
The first thing has to do with the way a journalist works, meaning they have to question their work. Do I use a proper language? Are the words I use to describe these people stereotype free? So the first thing is to question that. So everything has to be questioned. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're gonna make a stereotype free article or product, but at least it might improve a bit. It might help you to avoid some, let's say, big mistakes.
I think that with the explosions of blogs and point of views and everything, and the professionalization of the organizations also, who are already asking media to focus more on some points and everything, media will not have the choice. They have to change and to accept other point of views and to question their methods also, because you have people who start to speak about their own life. So the journalist, to survive, he will have to really give valuable information, and for that he has pressure from the people. And I think the civil society, who must be represented somehow by journalism, is like putting pressure, a good pressure on the medias to tell the truth and to be more professional.
The second advice I will give is, well, it's less concrete and it's, but I think for a journalist, you have to be sure of the subject you are working on. I know it's often difficult because sometimes you don't have the choice. If you are working for a redaction, sometimes you just don't have the choice. You have to cover the issue, so you have to deal with it. But if you have the choice of the topic you choose, then you have to feel it. You have to feel the subject. If you deal with an issue related to minorities and discrimination, then get in touch with actors. In order to develop as a journalist, let's say, a critical point of view, you need to be confronted to these persons because they are the first ones concerned by the issue. So you have to confront yourself to them. Then it's going to be up to you how to use the information you gathered, but you can't just cover this type of issue just by staying outside.
I think today the real chance is the plurality of the information. It's not just one television or one newspaper giving the truth. It's like plural. Every citizen, if they have the skills, if they have them, they can broadcast their own news. So as journalists, you have to be some kind of better, like in a capitalistic world, you know. So you have all those news and you have to be better. And you just understand that the way you are doing your job is analyzed by the citizens because they can compare your work. And when you have some youngsters in the suburbs or North District of Marseille, for example, writing about their lives, it's just becoming more concrete. I think this global change of information is a real chance for medias. And you see in the redactions, in newspapers, there is more and more journalists from different backgrounds, and it's you'll have a variety of points of view and manners to do your job. And if they recruit just the same people from some schools, you just have the elite reproduction, if you want. But by integrating those people who claim to have their voice heard, it's really important to be coherent with your job. No journalists, they are just communicants. About Roma people, how they speak about them, about Muslim people, how they speak about them, they can make a cover like Le Point. It's just scandalous. They are not anymore journalists. They are trying to sell more newspapers, to survive economically by being less professional. But what they don't understand, they are killing the profession. So people will gather more information somewhere else. If you want something sensational, yes, you will go to these medias. Every week you have some cover that everyone else will speak about, and it's kind of a shame for journalists. The bloggers and Twitter and those other sources of informations, and even journalists are going to those new medias, and they are performing some kind of revolution of their job. If you want us to still be your to buy the newspapers, be professional, just professional. Give us some news and do your job.
What I have learned doing, it's something I felt already before, but somehow working for the project, in other words, has just confirmed this impression that I had, is that working on the issue of discrimination is an ongoing process, and it's an ongoing questioning for ourselves as journalists, and also probably as readers, but first of all as journalists, because it changes, it evolves over time. And let's take the example of language. Language evolves, it's not the same. The way we talk today is gonna be maybe discriminatory in a few years. So we're gonna need to adapt. So it's like, yeah, I would say an ongoing process of adaptation. You can never say that, okay, that's it, now I got it, I'm working stereotype-free and I'm good. That's not like that, it doesn't work this way. So you're gonna have to adapt over and over and always question your work over and over. So there is no end to that.